hard to imagine for people who don't work here, but we host events most days of the year. Either there's an event happening, or there's set up for the event, or there's tear down of one event and transition to the next. And trying to do construction work in that type of a setting is really, really difficult.
The stadium, while much of it is outdoor, there's a lot of indoor spaces. And it also includes the event center, which is obviously a massive indoor space. So the objective of this project was to replace and or refurbish most of the existing HVAC infrastructure serving the indoor spaces. That included, among other things, 169 water source heat pumps, a couple of really large fluid coolers, makeup air units, split systems, VRF equipment, hydronic pumps, large packaged rooftop units. All told, I think something like 280 individual pieces of HVAC that were replaced or refurbished over the course of the project, along with other improvements. We did a duct cleaning of all the existing duct, just a bunch of other things so that this stadium can continue effectively into the future.
One of the goals was to make sure that all of our fans, all of our guests had a great experience and did not know that McKinstry was here. That was quite a tall order when you think about on any given day where we did not have events, we had all of the HVAC work going on and many other construction projects. We had a lot of work to do in a very short period of time.
The logistical undertaking of this project was massive. A lot of these spaces that we worked in had to look like they were untouched, and we would sometimes be in a room and tear the whole thing apart, put a unit in, be halfway done, put it all back together, and there would be a game.
Really took, once construction took off, about 3 months to find a rhythm that worked for everyone. In the height of the work, when the most revenue was happening, it was the least chaotic because we worked through those issues.
In a venue like this, and just to give you an idea, you go from an empty stadium to a number of people the size of a small city, 70,000 people coming into the building at once.
They have 362 days of events a year at that stadium. It's not like you have the football off season of 6 months to be able to do construction. It wasn't the case.
You can imagine you can't just take a stadium down in order to replace the HVAC. So whether you're talking about these fluid coolers or any of the other equipment that we did, this stadium remains in operations. It's having events every day, day in and day out. You've got people that work here day in and day out. All this work, this replacement work, needed to occur while keeping the existing systems online. You can see beautiful piping detailed by our pipe fitters. This access aisleway that exists now with the piping coming in high overhead. You got great room to walk, bring in carts and tools, then it drops down and makes its connections at the unit. This is just a great example of McKinstry craftsmanship, our pipe fitters taking the time to be thoughtful, and great collaboration with their facilities team as well. Above me you can see the main condenser water lines for the stadium. So these are the lines that all of the heating and cooling in this building, and particularly the cooling, is accomplished via the fluids that run through these lines. So these big pipes, they take fluid from the building all the way up into the suite levels and the rooms throughout the building, down through the pipes, underground, out to the fluid coolers that we were just looking at. Okay, so what we're looking at here are the main condenser water pumps for the stadium. There's additional distribution pumps that we also replaced as a part of the project. They're scattered throughout the building on the ramps going up to the bleachers. These are better operating, easier to service and to take out in the future if needed. In addition to doing all the mechanical work, we did a lot of electrical and controls work to either improve or at a minimum maintain the efficiency of this system. These are the large VFDs allowing for variable flow operation of these pumps. Actually, the first generation of these VFDs were put in place by our McKinstry Energy group back in the early 2010s.
The team I'm a part of, our whole specialty, what we pride ourselves on is being existing building specialists, right? An existing building comes with all the warts that can accumulate over however many years, 20 plus years in the case of Lumen. And there are just problems that have been there unaddressed and kind of fallen into the background. And once we go in there and start touching the system, especially with something as comprehensive as this effort, it's almost unavoidable that you're gonna confront these issues.
It's a very decentralized system here, and when you install that many things in this short of a time, there are times when things go wrong. And the team's responsiveness to our operations team, when they noted a problem, McKinstry was right there, and they worked hand in hand with our operations folks, which was wonderful. It wasn't like, we're done, we installed it. It's like, we're here for you, we will work with you, and we'll figure this out together. So it was a great teamwork.
The standard in the industry is to, put blinders on, do your scope of work, and to the extent there were existing issues, say, hey, that's your problem. It's existing, we're not gonna do anything about it. And I think this project, and I think Kathy's, the words she has spoken about our performance on this project indicate that we didn't do that, right? We have hung in there. Because we had a successful project, we're able to hang in there and help them solve not only the big problem of replacing the HVAC they wanted to, but also start to really get to root causes on some of the systemic issues they already had before, and leave the place better than we found it.
We had a lot of work in the suites, and it was kind of high up, and we had a lot of it to do over and over and over again. And so the difficulty of getting large ladders into those spaces and them being such tight spaces was going to be an issue for us. So our carpenter team came up with some planks that they built that were approved by our safety department that we could reuse and set up in each suite over and over and over again. And that created a lot more space for other trades to work in there. It created a nice working platform for the people in there, and I think helped with people not having to work off ladders so much. So them speaking up and finding that solution is something that was a huge benefit for us.
At one point, we had all of the ceiling that you see here, which is really high up, removed because we had to run water lines from existing water, which is serving these suites, out to new sinks up on the upper concourse that are like all the way out on the edge of the stadium. So again, had this whole ceiling ripped out, working off of lifts to get new water lines in for sinks. Again, as usual, had to put it all together, take it all out, put it all together, repair it back in a narrow time frame. So we are on field level again, north end of the stadium, and there are just a few examples here in the ceiling of split system air conditioning units that we replaced as a part of this project. In some cases, we replaced air conditioning units with heat pump units, definitely increase in efficiency for all of them. But there are 27 of these scattered around the stadium serving different areas. So this right here is the irrigation system that was put in for the turf that is temporarily in place for the big event in the summer. So yeah, so pump skid, this was actually installed by the irrigation contractor, so not us, but we provided the water line serving this crazy temporary irrigation system. One of the critical elements to make it successful was before we ever did a bit of work, we went and actually laid eyes on every single individual heat pump, which again was like 168 of them. So we are on the south end of the stadium looking down at the event center. So this is where things like the boat show, the home show, a bunch of different concerts happen, always something going on. This wasn't necessarily part of our scope, but as we worked out here, more and more things started getting put on our plate to do. And specifically here, there's 13 really large package units that weren't slated for replacement, but did end up getting a full refurbishment, which is basically a replacement of all the moving parts, kind of trying to make it like new. Additionally, there were a variety of small packaged equipment that we replaced completely, so basically just added that onto our scope. All of the equipment that we replaced, refurbished, kind of touched in any way is now a part of a McKinstry service agreement.
During commissioning, there are always problems that happen, and with lots of new equipment, people don't always know how to operate it, or maybe it wasn't set quite right. The troubleshooting was fantastic, and I think that's one of the hardest things in mechanical system projects, is making sure that it isn't, we're done, it's yours, figure it out. So yes, I would recommend the McKinstry team to anybody who asks.
There's obviously a ton of collaboration on projects at all times, but within the trades and even like our subcontractor trades, like everyone was looking out for each other, crossing those lines, like not just within their own crew, which I think was cool. And I'm sure it's not like the only time it's happened, but it felt special in the moment, right? Like everyone was there to accomplish that same goal, and I think everyone was looking out for each other in that way.
I think I'm most proud of just like the teamwork that was honestly like done out there. I think everybody came together from the very beginning of the project, and we worked as one team, and it was a positive environment, good place to come to work every day. I think we had fun, but at the same time we got the work done that the customer was expecting us to do with quality and no safety incidents. So all in all, I'm just overall proud of the project and each individual that was a part of the project.
When we got there, there was this kind of moment where everyone sat back and we're like, oh my gosh, how are we gonna do this? What are we gonna do? Everyone had to get on the same page and sort of restructure our thought about how we were gonna approach it. And then after that moment, it was just like go, 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 and everyone was on the same page. And we could not have done what we did without everyone kind of buying into that process.
I mean, it really boils down to relationships and caring about the people that you work with. I watched people, many of whom did not know one another prior to this job, now are genuine, lifelong friends. They go camping together. And even if they're not camping together, there's a respect and a trust and a real relationship for having gone through this huge challenge together. That level of relationship leads to caring about the person next to you and wanting to make sure that they go home unharmed at the end of the day, right? First and foremost.
The experience was awesome. It's cool to tell my friends, my family, coworkers, like everybody around I worked on Lumen Field. I mean, I play Madden with my son, and every time he sees Lumen Field, he's like, hey, there's your job site. So it was cool. It was just the experience of it all is like something that I'll never forget, something I'm very proud of.
This is a destination, and it's a destination that makes people happy, and they love it. And just knowing that you contributed to that is really wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. I love working here.